Hey guys, hope everyone's had a good weekend. Thank you very much for joining me on this Sunday evening, where we're going to be talking about why rest days matter. So, for the next 30 minutes, we're going to be running through a TikTok live session, all based around why rest days matter. So, a lot of people think more workouts equals faster results, but the truth is your body actually grows and improves during rest. Hello, Joe. Thank you very much for joining. Guys, if you've never seen me before, my name is Ross. I'm based in the UK, so London. I've got over 10 years of experience going to the gym, and I've been doing these TikTok live sessions since the start of January, so around 8 to 9 weeks now, based on the most popular fitness topics. So if you've got any questions, please put them in the comments. Please also like the live if you guys are finding the session helpful, as it's really good for me to receive feedback to ensure that you guys are seeing value. So if you've ever felt constantly sore, tired, or stuck in a plateau, rest days might be the missing piece. And just as a bit of context for today's session, many people overtrain because social media glorifies daily intense workouts. This leads to fatigue and stalled progress. Today's live explains why recovery is a part of the training process. So guys, if you are just joining, we are talking about why rest days matter. If you guys have got any questions whilst we run through this live over the next 30 minutes, then please drop them in the chat. I'm more than happy to answer the questions as we run through. So the first topic that we're going to move into is what a rest day actually is. So rest days don't always mean doing nothing. There are two types of rest days. So the first one is having a complete rest. So no intense physical activity. You're focusing on sleep, hydration, and nutrition. And the second the second type of a rest day is active recovery. So this is where light movement that helps circulation without stressing the body. So this could be walking, stretching, yoga, mobility work. Active recovery improves blood flow, which helps deliver nutrients to muscles and remove metabolic waste from workouts. So just as an example, guys, if you smashed your leg day yesterday, today a 20-minute walk and stretching would be helpful, not another heavy workout. So this is where you can do an active rest day. What we're going to move into next is muscle growth happens during rest. And if you guys are just joining, we're talking about why rest days matter. This is a live for the next 25 minutes. So if you guys want to ask any fitness related questions, please put them in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer them as we're running through. If you guys are finding the live helpful, please like the live so I know that you guys are receiving value from the session. Also, as well, if you guys are joining late, you can watch all of my previous lives, and I'm going to upload this one to my YouTube channel. So, right, what we're going to move into next is muscle growth actually happens during rest. A lot of people overlook this part of the process when it comes to getting into shape. A lot of people in their minds are just thinking about working out, exercising daily, and they're not prioritizing rest and recovery. So I've just got a quick question. A silly question. So getting back to what we're talking about. So muscle growth happens during rest. So the key idea is exercise breaks muscles down. Recovery rebuilds it stronger. Yeah, Brennan, you got me. Well done. You got me on a Sunday evening. So yeah, exercise breaks muscles down. Recovery builds it back stronger. So just in simple terms, when you train hard, Muscle fibers develop tiny micro tears. Your body repairs those fibers. They rebuild back stronger and thicker. This process is called muscle recovery and adaptation. So without rest, the repair process is incomplete, performance decreases, and there is a injury risk. So training is like demolishing a house. To rebuild it better, rest is the construction crew showing up. So this is why it's so important to prioritize great workouts, going to the gym, putting the hours in at the gym. However, if you are not prioritizing the proper rest, recovery, and nutrition, then you're not going to see the results that you want. Ultimately, we don't grow and we don't change our bodies through working out and staying in the gym. All we're doing is we are sending the signals to our body. We then need the rest, recovery, and nutrition. And that's where we're either going to be building muscle, we're either going to be losing weight, or we're going to be getting leaner. This is the most important thing that I want you guys to take away, is rest is not you being lazy. I used to feel guilty for taking a rest day when I first started training in my first few years, because I was going to the gym 6 days a week. I felt guilty for taking a rest day off, but ultimately you need to take rest days. Now I train 3 days a week. And to be honest with you, I would say that my current conditioning, even not just in the physical side of things, but also for my mental health and well-being, I'm in so much more of a better place than probably a lot of people who are going to the gym 6 days a week. And a lot of people would think going to the gym 6 days a week is the best way to go. But trust me, if you're going half 3 days, you need those recovery days. So thank you guys for liking the live. If you guys have got any questions, fitness related questions, please put them in the comments. I'm more than happy to answer them. We're talking about why rest days matter. We've got another 20 minutes of this live. The next topic that we're going to be moving into is rest prevents overtraining. So if you have been going to the gym, let's say you've been getting on track since the start of January and you've been banging gym loads and you're going to the gym 4, 5, 6 days a week and you're still feeling potentially not yourself, these are some signs that you are potentially overtraining and that your body needs a rest. So signs include if you are constantly sore, you've got low energy, you're having poor sleep, you're declining in strength, you're irritable, and you've got frequent injuries. So these are some things to look out for. Again, constant soreness, low energy, poor sleep, declining strength, you're irritable, and you've got frequent injuries. So just as a bit of context in relation to overtraining, the nervous system also gets fatigued from intense workouts. Rest allows the central nervous system to reset so your body can perform at full capacity again. So if we just take away the working out side of things and you're thinking about the job that you do every day. So let's say you work an office job 8 hours a day. Imagine doing an office job with barely any time off before your next shift. You do a 9-5, you then only rest till 8 p.m. and then you're again doing a 9-5 again. That is what it's like when you are not taking enough rest days and you're not prioritizing rest, recovery, and nutrition. And when you're training hard in the gym, that is fantastic. And I'm proud of you guys for getting inside of the gym, but your body needs to rest from these intense workouts. So if you ever feel weaker during workouts, even though you're training harder, that's often a recovery problem. Again, goes back to overtraining. You need to have the right rest and recovery. You don't need to always look on social media about you need to be training every day. A few days a week, rest days are going to be so beneficial, not just for you physically, but also for your mental health. So guys, anyone that is just joining late, we're just talking about why rest days matter. We've got just under 15 minutes left of this live. If you guys have got any questions, fitness related questions, please put them in the comments. Also, as well, if you guys are joining this late, I do upload all of my fitness TikToks to YouTube, so you guys can watch back this episode and my previous ones over there. If you guys are also looking for a free 3-day full body split with summer just around the corner, you guys can download that on my main page. The link is in the bio. So the next thing that we're going to be talking about is rest improves performance. So a lot of people always think that all I need to do is go working out consistently. But they massively overlook that rest improves performance. The key message that I want you guys to understand here is more recovery equals better workouts. I'll say that one more time. Rest improves performance. More recovery equals better workouts. When your body recovers properly, glycogen stores refill, muscles repair, hormones rebalance, energy level increases. This leads to stronger lifts, faster runs, better endurance. And just as a bit of context, elite athletes schedule rest days strategically because it allows them to perform at their highest level during training and competition. Let's take away the elite athlete, because look, we are all just people who are generally trying to stay fit for our general health and fitness. So I want you guys to think about this example. Think about how much stronger you feel after a few days off. That's recovery doing its job. Don't ever overlook rest days. Rest days are so beneficial for your body. If you want to reach that PB in the gym, if you want to get stronger on your main compound lifts, your squat, your deadlift, your bench press, then remember rest days are the way to go. Remember, having a few days off is not you being lazy. It is all about making sure that recovery is doing its job, so you become back stronger, fitter, and you can perform better in your next workouts. So guys, any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments. Please like the live if you guys are finding this session helpful. Next topic we're going to be talking about is mental benefits of rest. We always speak about the physical benefits of when it comes to going to the gym or exercising, but the mental benefits of resting are so crucial. And if you want to be in the gym, or if you want to be exercising long term, this is why it's so important to make sure that you have rest days, because now I'm going to be covering the mental benefits of rest. So fitness isn't just physical. Rest days help reduce burnout, improve motivation, prevent obsession with training, and they maintain long-term consistency. As I mentioned earlier on in this live, when I first started going to the gym, I was so obsessed with training, exercising. I felt guilty for taking a rest day. It was draining me mentally. It was draining me physically. It is not good to be obsessed with your training. Treat exercise as a priority, but remember it's part of the bigger goal, which is a healthy lifestyle. That is something that I want you guys to take away from this session. Fitness and exercise, it isn't something that you need to become obsessed with. It is something that needs to be part of a sustainable, healthy lifestyle that requires balance. And just as a bit of context, exercise should enhance life, not become a source of stress. Scheduled rest days keeps training sustainable. So this is why, for all those people that were really keen in January to get fit, that had New Year's resolutions, they come out of the gate way too hot, way too quick. They're going to the gym 6 days a week. They're going to the gym 7 days a week. And then they wonder why they can't stay consistent. And the reason why they can't stay consistent is because they are not in something that is sustainable. Sustainability is so key when it comes to getting fit. And remember, exercise should enhance life, not become a single source of stress. Remember, scheduled rest days keep training sustainable. A rest day can be the difference between quitting after 3 months and staying consistent for years. And I guarantee you, research has shown that over 60% of people give up less than 3 months in. So if you have stayed consistent on your fitness journey from January until now, you are doing something right. And I guarantee you, you are being consistently sustainable with your workouts. You're not going out and working out 5, 6, 7 days a week because you know you need to build consistency first. You're going out and exercising probably a few days a week, and that is all that you need when it comes to getting fit. So the next thing that we're going to be talking about is how many rest days do you need? Again, guys, if you are joining just late, we are talking about why rest days matter. Please like the live if you guys are finding this session helpful. Please put your fitness related questions in the comments. If you guys do join late, I do upload all of my videos to my YouTube channel where you guys can watch back this episode and all of my previous TikTok lives. So the next topic that we're going to be moving into is how many rest days do you actually need? So this completely depends on your current experience level when it comes to exercise. So if you are a complete beginner, you've just started getting onto your fitness journey from January, ideally you would need to have at least 2 to 3 rest days per week. If you've been training a few years and your body has built up the conditioning, you need to be having 1 to 2 rest days per week. And if you are an advanced athlete, so again, you've been probably training for many years, you're in very, very good condition, you've got pretty much everything dialed in, you would ideally need to have at least 1 rest day per week. But this will completely depend on your current training intensity and your workout split that you're on. But generally, if you are at the top end of being fit and you've got everything dialed in, then you can train 6 days a week with 1 day rest. So when it comes to recovery, the need completely depends on your workout intensity, your sleep quality, your nutrition, and your stress levels. There are a few things that are super important to take away, and also not forgetting your age. And what I want you guys to think about here is instead of having scheduling rest days, and I know things can get busy, especially when you're trying to balance personal commitments, work commitments, you're left, right, and center with everything. The most important thing that I want you guys to take away is listen to your body. Soreness, fatigue, and poor performance are signs you may need more recovery. So I'm going to be moving now into a wrap up. If you guys have just joined this session late, I've just run through why rest days matter. If you want to rewatch this episode back and all my other lives, you can go onto my YouTube channel. I do post all of my videos on there. But just as a quick wrap up in terms of what we've discussed today, rest builds muscle. Rest prevents injury. Rest improves performance. Rest protects mental health. And the next time you take a rest day, remember you are not being lazy. You are training smarter. Again, next time you take a rest day, you are not being lazy. You are just training smarter. However, you need to make sure that the days that you're in the gym, please make sure that you are working out hard enough. Your body will need the rest and recovery if you're training hard enough. If you guys do want a free 3-day full body split, I have got that on my main page. Summer is fast approaching. Download the free 3-day full body split. Start day 1 today, and you'll be completely transformed by the time summer rolls around. Any final questions, guys, please put them in the comments. I just want to say to you guys, thank you very much for taking the time to spending your Sunday evening with me running through this TikTok live session. I wish you guys all a lovely evening. I'll be back online tomorrow at 7 p.m. for my next live. Have a lovely evening, guys, and I shall speak to you again then. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.